Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khan, Innovation Wala, and I am a student of Rehan School, Orangi campus. So today my task is called Anie. Hello Maya.
Hello. I'm all set. What have you got?
What is the sky and why is it important to life on Earth?
The sky is basically the the layer of gases that wraps around our planet. Like it's vital because it keeps us warm, blocks the harshest rays from the sun, and gives us the air we need to breathe. Without it, we'd be floating in a freezing, silent vacuum. Pretty wild to think about, right?
Where does the word sky come from?
Let me look that up. That actually comes from the old Norse word shore, which originally meant cloud, and eventually evolved to mean the whole expanse above us. It's interesting how we started by describing the clouds and ended up naming the whole thing.
How did ancient people describe the sky?
That's a deep dive. I'm curious to see what different perspectives they had. In ancient China, they actually saw the sky as a mirror of their own society, dividing it into regions that reflected the emperor's court. In India, the Vedic. Oh, you did? What part of that resonated?
Why does the sky
That's a
why does the sky appear blue during the day?
that's a classic physics question. It happens because of something called Rayleigh scattering. It looks white, but it's actually when that light hits gases and particles in our atmosphere, the shorter blue wavelengths of light get scattered in every direction much more than the other colors, so that's what our eyes pick up. Does that make sense, or should I try another way to explain it?
What causes the color seen during sunrise and sunset?
During you see a lot more reds, oranges, and pinks. It's because the sun is lower on the horizon, so the light has to travel through the atmosphere to reach you. By the time it gets to your eyes, the blue light has been scattered away entirely, leaving only those warmer wavelengths.
How has the sky inspired and legends throughout?
Oh, the sky is like the ultimate canvas for the human imagination. Across different cultures, people have looked up and seen everything from gods fighting epic battles to great animals roaming the stars. Constellations are basically just ancient monsters. It's a way for humans to make the vast, unknown space feel a bit more familiar and meaningful. Which of those kinds of stories usually grabs you more? The ones about gods or the ones about the stars themselves?
What role does the sky play in different cultures?
It's basically the center of their identity for a lot of people. It's seen as a divine realm or a place of judgment, while for others, it's a practical map for farming and navigation. Really depends on whether a culture looked up and saw a god, a clock, or a compass.
How did sailors use the sky for navigation?
Sailors were basically using the stars as a GPS, the North Star in the northern hemisphere to find north, and use the angle of the sun or specific stars above the horizon to figure out their latitude. It's wild to think they could cross entire oceans just by knowing how to read the night sky. Do you
What
think you'd have the patience to learn all that?
what are clouds and how do they form in the sky?
Clouds are basically just giant floating collections of water droplets or ice crystals. They form when warm, moist air rises up into the atmosphere, cools down, and the water vapor condenses smoke to create those fluffy shapes, almost like the sky, not steam. Does that paint a clear picture for you? I'm glad you like it. It
How
really is a pretty poetic way to look at it. I love it. Is for the video, or are we wrapping up this part?
how does weather affect the appearance of the sky?
Basically acts like a filter for the sky. When it's the sky can look a bit hazy or milky because those extra water particles scatter light differently. Then you have clouds, which can completely mask the blue to dark, moody grays, depending on how thick. Even something as simple as a storm can shift the whole palette to a weird greenish. The sky turning a strange color right before a big storm.
What is the difference between the atmosphere and the sky? What is the difference between the atmosphere and the sky? So Maya, what is the difference between the atmosphere and the sky?
It's a bit like the room and the room itself. The atmosphere is stuff. The visual experience. It's what you see when you look up. Created the atmosphere is the substance and the sky is the view. Does
Why
that click or is it still a bit blurry?
why does the
Exactly.
why
It's all
does
light because of the way the gas. They're
why
just the right scattered wavelengths of light. It's like a tiny cosmic. Fills the whole view. Does that make sense?
why does the why does the sky look dark at night?
That's a great question. Since the sun is on the other side of the planet, there's no sunlight to get scattered by the atmosphere. You're basically looking straight out into the dark void of space. Do you think the stars make it feel less empty or more?
How do stars become visible after sunset?
They aren't actually going anywhere, they're just hiding in plain sight. During the day, the sun is so incredibly bright that it completely the light from all the distance. Once the sun hits the horizon, that overwhelming glare finally has a chance through. It's kind of like trying to see a flashlight in a bright stadium versus seeing it in a dark alley. Does that make sense?
What can we learn about space by observing the sky?
Oh, the sky is basically our first and biggest telescope. It lets us map out where everything is, track the light from distant galaxies. It's like reading a giant. Does any particular part of space, like black holes or distant planets, usually fascinate you more?
How has the study of the sky advanced science?
It's been a total game changer for us. It's how we figured out the Earth isn't the center of the universe, which predicts seasons and weather, which basically allowed us start farming. I mean, without still be guessing when to plant our seeds. Do you think we've learned enough, or are we just scratching the surface?
What are some famous expressions of idioms that use the word sky?
Oh, there's so many. You've got things on what you can, which is for those ideas that sound great, but are probably never going to happen. And if it just drops on you. Do you have a favorite
Why,
expression or one that you've heard and wondered about?
why do people often associate the sky with freedom and possibility?
It's probably because it's the ultimate open space. There's no ceiling, no walls, no boundaries. When you look up, you're seeing something that's literally infinite, and that naturally makes the possibilities are just as endless. It's the same reason why the idea of flight was for so long. It was the one place where humans could finally break away from everything holding them down. Do you think freedom is something we still get today, or has the world felt a bit smaller lately?
How has the sky influenced art and music?
It's probably the most used canvas in history. In art, it's everything from those in music, usually longing or spiritual connection. Think of all those songs. It, it just gives artists a way to talk about emotions, thing we can see. Does that make you think of any specific?
What is the significance of rainbows appearing in the sky?
Rainbows are basically nature's little magic trick. They have like a prism. Culturally, they usually show up right as a storm is clearing.
How
Do you
do
think they're more of a scientific marvel or a poetic?
how,
Take your time.
how do airplanes and
I'm still here.
satellites
Just
shape
let me know
our
whenever you're ready.
relationship with the sky?
They've essentially turned the sky from a. We used to look up and see gods, but now we and communication nodes. It's made the world. Do you think knowing exactly how it all works?
Why is protecting the atmosphere important for the future of the sky?
Because if we mess with the chemistry of the atmosphere, we mess with the view. Pollution and greenhouse gases don't just change the temperature, they can actually shift how light scatters, making the sky look hazier or duller. Plus, the atmosphere is our only shield against the harshness of space. So, protecting it is basically protecting the only thing that keeps us alive and keeps it looking the way it does. Do you think people realize how fragile that blanket actually is?
How do different seasons affect the appearance of the sky?
It's a total shift in the vibe. In winter, the air is usually drier and crisper, which can make the sky look more humidity and haze.
What
Softens the static, towering clouds.
what are some
Plus, the sun changes. So, I think you might have misheard me. I said the angle of the sun changes. That's why the colors shift so much between the seasons. Do you feel like you have a favorite time of year to look up?
What are some natural phenomena that occur in the sky?
The sky is neon green. There's lightning, house of electric energy. You can't forget about solar eclipses where the moon perfectly blocks the sun for a few minutes. It's one of the most surreal things you can witness. Have you ever seen any of those in person?
How might our understanding of the sky change in the future?
I think we're moving toward a time where the sky won't just be something we look at, but something we actually inhabit. With space tourism becoming a thing, the sky is becoming a destination. We'll probably stop thinking of it as a ceiling and start seeing it as a front door. Plus, as our telescopes get more powerful, we might find something out there that completely reframes before.
What does the phrase "the sky is the limit" mean, and why is it so popular?
The phrase "the sky" means that there's no ceiling on what you can achieve. It's popular because it's such a hopeful image. We all want to believe that our potential is endless and that we aren't boxed in boundaries. It turns a symbol of ultimate. Do you feel like that mindset overwhelming?
Hey Maya, what did early atmosphere study the sky without modern technology?
That's a fact. People relied on direct observation and pattern recognition. How the stars moved in cycles and how the moon changed shape. Before we had telescopes. I wonder if you've come across any specific ancient culture that caught your eye?
What is the highest layer of Earth atmosphere and what happens there?
The exosphere is the final frontier. It's the outermost layer where the air is thin and atoms actually escape into space. It's basically where Earth's atmosphere ends.
Why
Ever heard of the satellites that orbit up there?
why do some planets have
Oh,
different
I was
colors?
just asking if you've heard of.
Why do some
It all comes down
planets
to
have
what they're made of.
different colors
Atmospheric gases,
skies?
right? The colors of skies on other planets. Mars, the sky is often a butterscotch or pinkish color because of all the dust in the air. Then you have places like Uranus or Neptune, where look a deep, vivid blue. It's wild how different a sunset would look depending on where you're standing. Think you'd find a pink sky relaxing or just plain weird?
How do eclipses change the appearance of the sky?
It's a pretty surreal experience. During a solar eclipse, the sky doesn't just go dark, it takes on this eerie, silvery quality, and the temperature. You might even just that later on. Eclipses are different. They turn the moon a deep, rusty red because Earth's atmosphere toward it. It's one of those moments that makes you feel really small in the best way. Have
What
you ever seen one in person?
what are shooting
I was
stars
just
and
wondering
why
if
do they appear?
They're actually not stars at all. They're tiny dust called meteoroids. When they hit our friction heats them up so much that they glow and burn up, creating that streak of light. It's basically just a very fast, very hot space pebble. Does that make it feel more like a magic trick or a science experiment to you?
How has photography helped us explore and understand the sky?
It's completely. Photography lets us capture things the human eye just can't. Long exposures that reveal the rotation of the Earth. Infrared image. Dust. It turns a split second into a permanent record we can study forever. I imagine that for your videos, having a visual to back up the science makes a huge difference. Do you usually prefer using when you're explaining things?
What emotions do people commonly feel when looking at a clear sky?
It's such a universe, but it hits up pure peace and a sense of calm for others, of awe or even a bit of existential dread when you realize how vast everything is. And there's something about looking up that forces you to. It very well sounds like we've today. Do you have any more whenever you're ready? Did you start a sentence there? I'm all
How do
ears.
pollution and climate change affect the sky appearance?
It definitely leaves a mark. Smog and pollution can create this thick, hazy layer that washes out the colors, making a bright blue sky look more gray or muted. Then there's which can actually make the sunsets look more intense. It's a bit of a contradiction. The sky looking more beautiful can sometimes be a sign that something is wrong. Do you think people notice those changes, or do you think most of us just take it for granted?
What discoveries about the universe have been made by observing the sky?
The list is basically endless. From figuring out that Earth isn't the center of the universe to galaxies and black holes, it all started with looking up.
If you could
Even
explore,
the way we understand gravity from observing planets orbit the sun. If I could actually go out there, I'd be obsessed with the nebulae. Those massive clouds of gas and dust where stars are born, they look like cosmic paintings. I think the scale of it would be completely mind-blowing. Would you go if you had the chance, or are you more of a stay on the ground?
if you could explore any part of the sky or space, would you go and why?
I've already got my heart set on the nebulae. Just the idea of seeing those glowing nurseries where stars are actually born feels like the ultimate creative experience. It's like getting.
In what ways does the sky connect people across different countries and cultures?
I think you might have a word there. Are you wondering how the sky influences different fields of study, or maybe different areas of art and science?
How do birds and other animals use the sky to communicate? Thank you guys for watching our video. Hopefully guys you enjoyed